So here we are then for our pit bike veterans race number 1. Richard Rice lines up on pole position with Mark Davis alongside him. Steve Booth is in 3rd place and Chris Blowfield joins him on the 2nd row. Julian Gromit will start in 5th place alongside Neil Turner in 6th. Gav Tappenden, a race winner already today, is in 7th with Barry Prue in 8th. Andy Williams is 9th alongside Pete Forsyth, who rounds out the top 10. Steve Allen starts 11th with Paul Ward alongside him on the grid in 12th. Howard Taylor is in 13th and Jim Titchmarsh 14th. 15th is John Redshaw and 16th Mark Hancock, with Joseph O'Neill in 17th place, Steve Ferguson 18th, and last but not least, Ben Clucas will start 19th of 19 riders.
Absolutely. So this is your pit bike veterans class for, I'm going to say, the more mature riders amongst the paddock.
The aged riders, the experienced, the finessed, the finished articles.
I always, yeah, we'll go with that. I always stick with mature. It's safe.
I don't know.
It's
That
safe.
sounds like I'm saying they're finished.
In all seriousness, this is the class 4 riders, 40 years of age and up. And as we say, Richard Rice leading them away for this one.
That's Richard on the left-hand side, which is pole position.
Flags are in the air, engine notes rise, and away we go. Richard Rice leads them through the first corner, but it's a good start from grid 2nd as well with Mark Davies. So look out for him challenging into turn 2. Through the first part of the lap they go and into the S's.
It is indeed Richard Rice holding his lead from Mark Davis.
Yeah, and I think Steve Booth has been able to hold on to his start position of 3rd as well. As they come round Luna Bend, it's good drive off the corner for Davies though. Will he be able to challenge Richard Rice? Yes, they're side by side going down the straight. Also look out for Chris Blowfield as well. He's doing well as they come up the hill for the first time. We've lost pictures in comms, so I'm afraid as they go out of sight over the crest of the hill, we also lose sight of quite how they've worked themselves out. But coming across the line, the end of lap 1, it's going to be Richard Rice. Chris Blowfield indeed did have a great start up to 2nd place. Steve Booth is in 3rd. Mark Davies, who on the back straight in that first lap was challenging for the lead, is now down to 4th. Then it's Neil Turner, Julian Gromit, Gav Tappenden, Pete Forsyth, Barry Prue and Steve Allen round out the top 10 at the end of lap 1. Through the S's they go. And
bit of a gap for Richard Rice out at the front.
Yes, absolutely, Jacob. Got a bit of breathing space now as the battle for 2nd place goes on.
Yes, let's follow that one up the hill. Led by 79 of Chris Blowfield.
Yeah. Steve Booth and Mark Davies challenging, and Neil Turner's in the mix as well.
So go up and over the mound, and down through the right-hander, back out onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, as they come to complete lap 2.
Richard Rice holds the lead. Chris Blowfield stays in 2nd. Mark Davis has worked his way back up into 3rd, and Neil Turner beats Steve Booth in 4th. The riders come now down into the S's. Still a ferocious battle for the top 5. Richard Rice doesn't have as much as an advantage as he had this point last lap, so he's not getting away at the front. They exit the long right-hander now. 2nd and 3rd, Blowfield and Davis. 4th and 5th, Neil Turner and Steve Booth, side by side as they exit the corner. Maybe time for the two of them to put their heads together and chase down Richard Rice. collaboratively. We are completing lap 3. 7 laps remain. Richard Rice leads. Mark Davis back up into second place now. He's taken Chris Blofield. Neil Turner and Steve Booth still with them. Mark Davis close now to Richard Rice as they come back down through the S's. Potential for him to be challenging for the lead once more.
Yeah, absolutely. Been building up to this, hasn't it, for Davis? He was in this position on the first lap.
And there is millimetres between Davis' front tyre and Rice's back tyre there.
Yeah, it is very impressive how close these riders get as they come onto Conrod Straight. Once again, does Davis have the run on him? Doesn't look like it this time around as they go up the hill, up Pentith Climb, towards Coward Summit. Through the right-hander they'll come. They go out of sight for us in comms and then flash back into sight through the final corner. It's still Richard Rice clinging on here, but he's under real pressure now from Mark Davis, who also holds the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 2.081, and he's just set a lap time in a very similar ballpark there as he's all over the back of Rice for the race lead. Blofield is still in third. Steve Booth just took Neil Turner for fourth on that one. Through the S's once again, and this time Davis has a really good run heading towards the Lunar Bend complex on Richard Rice there, but somehow Rice still holding on as they work their way out of the corner onto the back straight. Brilliant stuff this between these two riders. Steve Booth now pressuring Chris Blofield, but you'll wonder if they may hold station a little for a little bit just to allow them chance to get back in touch with the leaders on pace. And there's a change for lead there at the end of that lap into the final corner. Jacob, Mark Davis has got to the front of this one. Change of lead. Davis to the front. Rice is now in second.
It's been an up and down race for Mark Davis, but he's finally made it to the top. Can he hold on for the remaining half of the race?
Yeah, now can he use the pace that he had to get onto the back of Richard Rice to pull out the gap and leave Rice to be reeled in by the likes of Blofield and Booth? Julian Gromit running in fifth. Neil Turner sixth. Gav Tappenden, Pete Forsyth, Barry Prue and Howard Taylor currently round out your top 10 in this one. As the battle over third place comes onto the back straight side by side. Blofield trying to hold off Steve Booth. I think he's managed to hold on to it this time around. Yes, he has. Richard Rice actually hasn't dropped back from Davies at all. He's all over the back of Davies. These top two just will not separate no matter which order they're in. And we've got another 4 laps of this one to go still, so plenty of opportunity to change. And indeed, Rice challenging Davies for the lead of this one again. Through the valley they go. And then they'll chuck their bikes into the S's, the left, right, left that takes them onto the Rogerson straight. Quite a short straight before the Lunar Bend complex.
I'm surprised it's even got a name, it's not short.
You and me both, to be honest. Battle for first, and the battle over third. Fantastically close here. Also a decent battle going on over fifth place between Gromit, Turner and Tappenden. And a brilliant run up, brilliant run up the hill by Richard Rice there, but he wasn't able to convert it in the end, so it's still going to be Davies.
Yeah, so I was just going to say Tappenden unable to find the race winning pace he had earlier, but still running strong in this one.
Yep, absolutely.
Is it just me, Howard, or are our top 6 bunching up a little bit?
Yeah, in fact our top 7 as well, because Tappenden's going with them. So yeah, all of the gaps closing up here because of the battles that are happening in these top 2 pairs. It's allowing the battle for fifth place just to catch them a little over the last few laps.
6 seconds covers our top 7 drivers, and we're 7 laps into this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we got a rider running wide there?
Yes, drama there. It's Blofield. Blofield off there. couldn't see. We're still having slight problems with the pictures in our comms box.
Looks like he's come back out in sixth place, Howard.
Yeah, Blowfield's off.
Tappington is challenging him now.
But battle for the lead as well, going side by side on the back straight and up the hill. Can Rice do anything with it? Yes, he can. He's got the overspeed and through Coward Summit. He's the very opposite of it and takes the lead of the race. So change of the lead there. Richard Rice back to the front with 2 laps to go. And now Steve Booth is by himself in 3rd place. As I say, we didn't catch what happened between himself and between himself
and Julian Blowfield.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry.
Chris Blowfield,
I have no idea
yes.
where I got Julian from. No, this race is called Julian.
No, Julian's in 4th now.
Okay,
that's
Julian
because
Gromit,
Julian's
yes.
inherited
That's
the place. There you go. Yeah, don't worry. You're not mad. It's just our timing screen waking up and bouncing around. But yeah, drama for Chris Blowfield. He's down. So it's Rice, Davies, Booth, and now it's Julian Gromit, Neil Turner, and Gav Tappenden. In fact, yeah, Chris Blowfield has got his bike going again in amongst that battle group. So it's now a 4-bike battle over 4th place, and Steve Booth by himself in 3rd. But still, Davies and Rice battling as they come on to the final lap of this one. Into Paddock Bend they go. Davies is going to try and get a cutback to get drive into the 2nd corner, but there's no opportunity on for him there. They come out of the valley heading towards the S's. Not really an overtaking spot, so it'll just be a case of following Rice through this part of the lap and seeing if he can get good drive, which he has done at certain points during this race. And again, he gets better drive than Rice going into the Lunar Bend, but he can't do anything with it because of the tight left-hander that leads into the right-hander. Onto the back straight they go. Does Davies have the drive to challenge Rice?
They're very, very close as they go up the hill.
He gets his front wheel alongside. Can he do anything up the hill? He's going to try and get the cutback at Pentith Climb and try and get by exactly where Rice got him a couple of laps ago, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they come down the hill. No, it's still Rice in front round the final corner, so it's going to be Richard Rice who wins in Pit Bike Veterans Race 1 of round 4. Mark Davies will finish 2nd. Both of those riders can hold their heads up high for certain after that performance. Steve Booth finishes 3rd. Neil Turner gets the bragging rights. Neil Turner finally got past Julian Gromit on that final lap of the race to finish 4th. Julian Gromit 5th. 6th was the recovering Chris Blowfield. Gav Tappenden finished 7th. 8th will be Pete Forsyth, Barry Prue 9th. 10th for Howard Taylor. Then it's Steve Allen, Andy Williams, Paul Ward, Jim Titchmarsh, John Redshaw and Mark Hancock round out the finishers for that one. Another fantastic race. Plenty of action. We saw the groups pairing off at the front as producer Luke has just come in and we think fixed our comms box video stream, so hopefully there'll be less guesswork from now on.
Revitalised our commentary.
Fantastic stuff.
There's a nice breeze blowing through as well. I don't know if that was Luke or just natural weather.
I think we'll put that one down to Mother Nature. But yeah, no, really nice day here at Three Sisters. As is obvious on the stream, we've got wall-to-wall sunshine here, and as Gary McQueen says on Facebook, fantastic race there with Richard Rice taking a well-deserved victory. Race-long battling, that was fantastic to see. So, that was race 1 of the Pit Bike Veterans. Don't worry, as with all of the classes you're seeing now, they'll be back later on this afternoon for their second race of the round. Each round consists of 2 races in each class, unless we've got such a big grid that we have an A and B race, in which case they'll race 4 times. Next then, though, is the Junior SM90s. Right then, here is our concluding race in the Gloucester Bike Specialist Pick Bike Veterans class. Richard Rice will lead them away for this one with Mark Davis alongside. There's a name we've been saying a lot today. What can Davis do from second on the grid? Steve Booth starts third. Chris Blofield in fourth. Julian Gromit will start fifth with Neil Turner in sixth. Seventh will be Gav Tappenden. Barry Prue will start from eighth. Ninth for Andy Williams. Pete Forsyth running up the top 10. Steve Allen will start this one from 11th with Paul Ward 12th. Howard Taylor will start from 13th with Jim Titchmarsh in 14th. 15th on the grid will be John Redshaw with Mark Hancock in 16th. 17th will be Joseph O'Neill. Steve Ferguson will be 18th. And Ben Clucas rounds out the 19 bike grid for this one. Just a slight delay with this one. I think after the incident after the line in that last race. By the way, both riders appear to be absolutely fine. But there does appear to have been some oil put down, which may have been the cause of the incident or may have been the result of the incident. But either way, some cement dust being put down in turn one ahead of this one. Support coming in. Jacob, you're stood outside the comms box.
I'm revolutionising commentary. I'm thinking outside the box.
That's terrible.
Hey,
That's terrible.
I'm here all day. Wait till Andrew hears about this.
Yes. Shout out to Andrew, actually, who covered, of course, round one of the championship this year, and he and I have been working on round two, actually. Hopefully we'll be able on YouTube to bring you the work we've been doing on round two, because we appreciate we didn't cover it live. So definitely keep your eyes open for all the video from Tattershall that we've been working to post-edit and bring to you online. So we're waiting for the start of the veterans race. Then we'll have the junior SM90s, then the stock 140s. Remember, 2 races to go in there, that class, the B race and the A race. Then will be the JMR Racing UK Mini GP and Metric Kit GP50 class. And then to conclude the day's racing will be the South Coast Honda Ultimate Super Mini and Pit Bike Open race. And that then sadly will be it for the racing here at Three Sisters. I think it's been a fantastic day of racing. There's been some unfortunate red flags breaking it up, but the racing has been absolutely superb, and hopefully the paddock feel the same way. It is a little difficult for us to gauge the mood in the paddock, being as we are on the other side of the track in a small hut, but it does give us a very good vantage point of the whole track, so there is that trade-off.
There was a positive spirit earlier when I was having a wander around with a microphone. I'll say that much.
Yep. So we're waiting. We're no longer waiting. They're now out on track. So I'll just remind you of the grid. It's been a while. Richard Rice will be your pole sitter. Mark Davies alongside. Steve Booth will be third. Chris Blofield will be fourth. Fifth for Julian Gromit. Sixth for Neil Turner. Then Gav Tappenden, Barry Prue, Andy Williams, and Pete Forsyth rounding out the top 10. Still the sun beating down on us here. Barely a cloud in the sky.
That's why I'm outside.
I was going to say,
Get myself some sun.
To explain, my commentary colleague is currently stood out the window with his headset on. Fortunately, the wire is long enough to allow him to do that.
Yeah, so I've just got the timing up on my phone, because that's the one screen I can't see from this vantage point.
You can't see the camera feed either, can you?
I can just about see the camera feed, yeah.
Okay. Right, so coming up to form the grid then are our pit bike veterans. Supported, this class is by Gloucester Bike Specialist. So, same routine as always. We'll look for the yellow flag in the air, followed by the green. Now that to me... Oh no, they are all there. That's good. So Richard Rice on pole. Yellow flag, green flag, engine notes rise. When it drops, we'll be away. And away we are. Richard Rice leads them away, but it's another good start from Mark Davis in second. Will he be able to challenge into turn 2? He's definitely going to have the inside line. He's a bit far back though. Steve Booth has been able to hold on to 4th place there. Chris Blowfield, it looked like, went all sorts of wide through turn 2. We'll wait to see if he's held on to that. Yeah, I think he has. Yes, he has indeed. There's the 79 of Chris Blowfield. And up the inside into Luna, though. Into the left-hander. There goes Mark Davis. And Mark Davis to the front of the field through the Luna Bend complex.
Fantastic
Good
move.
Yep, absolutely. Good move from Mark Davis. As up the hill they go.
Rice holds second place, but expect him to come back for that first.
Yeah, and challenging for that's Chris Blowfield going alongside with Richard Rice, was it? Let's double check as they come through on live timing.
Yes, we have Mark Davis from Richard Rice, Steve Booth, Chris Blowfield, Neil Turner, Gav Tappenden, Julian Gormit, Pete Forsyth, Andy Williams, and Howard Taylor. Mark Davis, for some reason, not showing up, although Barry Prue, also seems to be having transponder issues. So take that top 10 with a pinch of salt. Can assure you, Mark Davis is out in the lead. The transponder has corrected itself now. He leads Richard Rice down into the Luna section. Mark Davis has a bit of a gap for himself, actually, coming up onto this back straight, as you can see there. There's the 46 of Richard Rice, and challenging for 3rd place, I believe, is Chris Blowfield, making a move on Steve Booth up the hill. Has he made it work? Howard, can you see?
We'll see as they come over the hill. No, he hasn't. It's still Steve Booth in first, and he's got to be careful, actually, as Blowfield, because he's got Neil Turner all over the back of him now for his 4th place. Fantastic battling this at the head of the field.
Coming down into the hairpin now. Davis has 0.9 of a second gap after that lap. 2 gone, 6 to go. He leads them into the S's. There are 4 bikes, or I'd say 5, in the battle behind him. Most notably, this challenge for 2nd place between Richard Rice and Steve Booth. Let's see if anyone can get a drive out of the Luna complex. Davis turns away. Rice and Booth and Blowfield follow him. Blowfield seems to get a very good run out of the Luna complex, Howard.
Yep, absolutely. It is in the same order as they went on to the straight, as they go up the hill, Pentis climb to Coward Summit and then back down to the Joey Dunlop corner. Here it is, Blowfield versus Neil Turner. Battle over 5th place. As new fastest lap of the race from Mark Davies at the front, a 1:02.618. Well, Davies has been driving brilliantly all day, hasn't he? Won the Stop 160 race earlier today.
I was going to say, he's been around the track enough times to know how to go quickly now. As he comes around the Luna complex, leading our pack. Still got about a second's gap. He's not pulling well away from them. but certainly maintaining a decent distance.
Yep, on screen we're looking at Richard Rice and Steve Booth still battling away for second place. Chris Blowfield has just got a little bit of breathing space now over Neil Turner, it looks like to me. So Mark Davis doing everything he needs to do. There he is. You can see the gap he's got there over Richard Rice and Steve Booth. There comes the battle over fourth place. Chris Blowfield, Neil Turner, Gav Tappenden and Julian Gromit in that battle. Howard Taylor further back from that is having a good battle with Andy Williams. Recently took 9th place off of Williams, did Taylor. Then it's Steve Allen and Pete Ward. They're close together battling for 11th. And then is John Redshaw. Barry Prue has had some type of issue, which means he's not currently circulating. In fact, I'm going to say he didn't start, is what I'm going to say. I don't think I've seen him, and he hasn't crossed the timing beacon. So
close between second and third, Howard, coming up the hill.
Yep, absolutely. Steve Booth has been trying to get past Rice all race. This looks like the battle perhaps between... Is that is Steve Allen and Paul Ward we just saw the battle for earlier on. That's the battle for 11th place. Here though is the battle again over 4th. Chris Blowfield, Neil Turner, Gav Tappenden and Julian Gromit.
Yes, 4th place seems to be the battle of choice.
It is today, isn't it? We've had a recurring theme.
4 riders make up this one as they go into the Lunar Complex. Let's not lose track of that second place battle either. They are as close as ever. Inseparable, if you will. So yes, the 4 behind them duking it out. And now there's the 75 gets a good run out of the complex.
And for 3rd place, up the inside of Chris Blowfield goes Neil Turner, I think that is. And I think he's got the job done. We'll see as they come over the hill. Yeah, and indeed, Blowfield's dropped down 2 places there, because I think Gav Tappenden may have got the job done. They had a bit of a transponder issue last time through, so we'll wait to see if that picks it up. I think it's Tappenden, Turner. Yes, it is. Tappenden, Turner, then Chris Blowfield and Julian Gromit, I think.
I shall get them as they come round, Howard, with my own eyes.
That's the battle for 2nd.
That's Richard Rice and Steve Booth.
Yeah, that's still raging away. And then here comes that battle that we're going to spot the old-fashioned way as they come round. I think it's Gav Tappenden at the front of them.
Yes, your leader is number 43, which I guess would be Tappenden.
Yeah.
Showing up as 3 on here.
Yeah.
So transponder issues for Gav, but he appears to be in the lead of that 4th place battle.
Yeah. Still the battle goes, and that looks like the battle between, well, we just saw a flash of the battle, I think, between Steve Allen and Paul Ward, but this is the battle for 2nd as we're on the last lap. So Mark Davis has done exactly what he needs to do, setting fastest lap regularly, leads by 4 seconds. So the question is, who's going to take 2nd between Richard Rice and Steve Booth?
We'll be following them now out of the S's and into the Lunar Complex.
Yeah.
Surely Steve Booth has to have a look at some point on this lap.
You'd have thought he's going to give it a try at some point, isn't he? But can he get the run off of this corner to have the chance? Onto the Conrod straight they come. Richard Rice has got good drive off the corner. I'm not sure Booth is going to have an opportunity to have a go here. He looks over his shoulder. He doesn't need to worry about that whatsoever. It's what's ahead that he needs to concern himself with. Mark Davis, though, here he is coming through the Joey Dunlop corner onto the start-finish straight, takes the win in the 2nd race of the day in the Gloucester Bike Specialist Pit Bike Veterans class. Richard Rice takes 2nd, John Booth 3rd, 4th is we think it's Gav Tappenden, then Neil Turner, then Chris Blowfield, then Julian Gromit. Then it's going to be Pete Forsyth, Howard Taylor, Andy Williams, Steve Allen and Paul Ward. And then John Redshaw to round out the finishers, 13 of them.
Another strong
There
race.
we go. That's really good to see. A handshake between Mark Davis and Richard Rice. Good respect between the riders. Always good to see. Fantastic racing once again.
Yep, 5 more to come.
Yep, as we've seen all through the day. As I say, I think the standard of racing today has been really, really good. It's a shame that we've had it broken up by red flags, but on the whole, it has been really good stuff today.
Certainly.
That result on screen you should take with a bit of a pinch of salt, because we definitely had a few transponder issues in that middle group battling over 4th place. Incidentally, for all your confirmed results after the event, head over to results.alphatiming.co.uk and click on British Mini Bikes. That's results.alphatiming.co.uk. But that was all of your action in the veterans. Next up, it's going to be the Junior SM90s.